Hey folks, how are we doing today? Alrighty. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay. Was able to work out my schedule this morning, got jobs done quick enough to where I could actually get home and make lunch for my kids and get this stream all set up. I didn't think I was going to actually be able to stream at all this week, but it worked out today, went pretty smooth. How is everybody today? Felicity, thanks for joining us. Too hard to break. Thanks for joining us. I appreciate it. Let me know in the chat. Let me know if you guys can hear me okay while I'm getting things set up here. Hey Sigvar, how you doing? Alrighty, so we've got the new Heir update that's in the public stage right now. You can actually loud and clear. Thank you very much. Excited to see this update. Yeah, I think we're all excited about this update. We've been waiting for this update for quite some time. Several of us has. Excuse me. My throat's a little funky. Been working on fireplaces this morning. I may have a little dust in the back of my throat, so I apologize if my throat is sounding a little funny this morning. I'll probably have to take a few drinks of my coffee here in a second. Sigvar, I'm doing pretty good. Thanks for asking. Just it's the home life right now for NAS has been a little bit hectic, so to say, pun intended. Both my boys have started to play football this year. It's the first time they've played organized sports, and they've decided to play football. So I've got one in elementary and one in middle school. My youngest is playing for the little city league, and my oldest is playing for the middle school. So we've got some funky schedules going on right now, trying to get them to practice, and then school is starting tomorrow. So we've been running around like chickens with our heads cut off, trying to get everything ready for them to go back to school and ready for us for them to go back to school. So with any luck, next week I can kind of get back into a groove to where I'm not so stressed trying to set up a stream or get a guide out for you. I've actually got, like I mentioned in the last stream, I've got a couple of guides that I'm currently working on, waiting on a few bits of information to come in so I can finish one guide, and then I'm still waiting on some information for the second guide, but that's probably going to be a week or two out at least. But I'm hopefully going to get another guide out at least next week. But now we've got some new content that's actually coming to the game. I don't know when the Heir update, this update 1.4, I'm not sure when it's going to come to full release, so to the live stage, I guess you could say. But let's get into the update here. Hello everyone. Something happened in our Medieval Dynasty laboratory. We created monsters, text monsters. The Heir update is huge. No, actually it's massive. And that's true. If you've actually looked at the update and what's been added and fixed and so on and so forth, the lists are long, and we're going to go through them today. Let's see here. It took a while to usher them all out, the narrow hamlets and the paths to the village, but they are finally here. Dear village elders, grab one of the exemplars. It just wants to play and find out what the heirs have to offer. Now, as far as the heir, we have not gotten to the point to where we can play as our heir yet. My son, I think, is 10 now. I'll have to look once we get into the game. So I'm trying to, I'm to the point now to where I'm trying to buzz through the game a little bit and work on getting to that 1 million coin mark so I can get that achievement as well. Hey Dizzy Lemon, how you doing? Let's see. Currently, the public stage is only available in English. However, all translations are currently in the works and should be available for you soon. Have fun. The Heirs update on the public stage. And it goes through it. It tells you how, if you are not on the public staging testing side of Steam, it goes through and it actually tells you how to set it up. You can go in and go to properties. You can go to the beta, and then of course here I made a mistake this morning. I did not set it up right because it sets up a little bit different than some other games when you join the public stage. A lot of times other games, there's a little drop down and they have an option you can choose. This one here, you actually have to put in a code. It's called Medieval Staging, capital M, capital S, and then check code. It'll give you this little opt into blue button down here. You click that, and then you'll be set up for the public staging. You'll notice that Steam will download whatever content is available for the stage, and then you can actually load the game in and play that. But as far as what's added, let me see if I can. Let's make this a little bit bigger here. Yeah, there we go. Alrighty, so for what's added into the game, we have a new building, which is a donkey shelter, available early in the village development. So that's going to be kind of cool. So you have a separate building for the donkey itself. We have the fast travel. So if you saw the thumbnail for this stream, that was the Wagoneer you saw on the thumbnail. So we do have fast travel in the game now, and it does cost coin. The farther you have to travel, the more coins it's going to cost. Let's see. New items. We have toys available from the vendors. I don't know what toys are available. Now, granted, I know I have purchased some of the carvings from Sambor because I placed them around my son's bed to make it look like he was playing with the carvings. So I'm not sure what toys are going to be available. We'll try and check that out today. Possibility of giving gifts to children. Players can change to Heir if Heir is already an adult through dialogue. And it is irreversible. So once you do start playing as your Heir, it looks like you can play as your Heir without dying first, as long as your Heir is an adult, or 18 is what the age is normally. I don't think the age has changed, so I think 18 is still the proper age. Teenage apprentices. Possibility of assigning teenagers in work buildings, age 14 to 18. Oh, now that's going to be cool, to be able to put some of the older kids to work before they're 18. Ceremonial haircutting event when the Heir reaches the age of 7. Oh, very cool. Let's see. 4 personalities for son. Family quests for son and wife. Family small talk. New greetings for players' family. Okay. That'll be good, I guess, because my son has been calling me Mr., so maybe at this point he'll be calling me Dad instead or something. We'll have to see about that. Because I know I've made a couple of comments picking up a quest from him, the standard, give the child craft him a hammer or something like that because he wants to play adult. He calls me Mr. instead of Dad. Let's see here. Where are we at? Family small talk. New greetings for players' family. 6 unique quest NPCs available to add to your village. Interesting. I'm not exactly sure what that means. Sorry, I got to adjust my chair here. Let's see. Sorry, I'm reading you guys' chat there. Dizzy's. Oh yeah, it's still setting up. Okay, yeah. You guys can hear me, okay, right? I started talking, and hopefully everything is set up right, isn't it? Yeah, everything is on. Mic is working. Game sound. You guys are viewing the update just fine. Okay. Yeah, it looks like I've got everything set up good. Okay, so let's get back into this. Possibility of upgrading modules in non-residential buildings. Possibility of drinking directly from the well. Okay, that's interesting. Hear you loud and clear. Thank you, Sigvar. Let's see here. Possibility of collecting eggs and feathers from nests in the hen house and goose house. Oh, that's going to be kind of cool. So you can actually go in the house and there's going to be, I guess there's going to be individual nests for each, maybe each of the slots. Now the hen house and the goose house, I think they've got a lot of slots. Like 12 maybe? 10? I can't remember. Possibility of collecting honeycombs from the hives in the apiary. Possibility of collecting manure in some of the animal buildings. Okay. Like you're going to go shovel poop? Are we getting a shovel? Because we don't have a shovel in the game, do we? Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. You got to use it to get the clay, and there's shovels at the little stone piles you can pick up. Yeah, we got shovels. It's been so long since I've used one. Let's see here. New status indicating the number of unhappy inhabitants. New status indicating the number of active assignments in production whose progress has been stopped due to problems. So that would be like if they were out of materials or something. New status indicating the number of active assignments in trading whose progress has been stopped due to problems. Again, not enough materials. Special notifications when wife or heir leaves us due to mood, affection, or death. Okay. I haven't experienced any of those because I've never had my wife leave. I've never had my heir leave, and neither one of them has died. I haven't been that in a game that long for that to happen. Let's see. Players can now pick one of 3 steering types for the gamepad. Of course, I don't play with gamepad, but I'm sure many of you do, so that's probably a cool thing for you. Gamepad vibrations. Let's see. New heads and hairs for players' heirs. Oh, okay. So that's going to be different than just the standard children head and hairs in the game. New animation for toddlers and kids playing with toys. Well, that's good because they added toys to the game. New animations for mothers with infants. Okay. Like they're going to be walking around holding their back because they're pregnant. New sounds for the lynx and the wolf. Very long distance calling. It will be easier to track down these 2 types of animals. Okay. I don't know that I've really ever tried to track down a lynx except for the achievement where you had to, I don't know, kill one of each of the animals or something in the game. Otherwise, I'm usually tracking down the wolf because the wolf is usually part of a quest. The lynx, I haven't had a quest yet to where the lynx is a part of a quest. Long distance sounds for rooster. Let's see. Sounds for many NPCs, idle animations, sounds for gates, sounds of crying infant. Oh, okay. That'll be great. If you have a village full of babies, that could be, you might want to move out of town. Sounds for building and destroying roads, fences, gates, furniture. Reverbs in caves and oh, the reverb in the cave. That's going to be kind of cool. You stand in the cave and go, hello, hello, hello. Alrighty, well, that's everything that's added. Now, we got a bunch of fixed. Now, you can see the fixed list is very long. It's even longer than the added. And then, of course, we've got the updated list. So let's touch through some of these fixed a little bit here. Not all items being picked up after skinning an animal. Now that I personally haven't run into. That I've noticed slightly enraged. Animals sometimes chase people to the end of the map. Oh, wow. That'd be interesting to see. I personally hadn't run into that. The number of animals in spawners sometimes loaded incorrectly, causing more animals to spawn than there should be. Now, I believe I've actually run into that with some of the wolves. That would have been northwest of Hornica. That I've run into that to where I believe there was only supposed to be like 4 wolf, and I believe there would be sometimes 6 or 8. I'm not sure on the spawn size of that area, but I know I've run into quite a few in that by that area. So that might be something that I've seen before and just didn't realize it was an issue. Let's see. What was that? Full with broken textures. I haven't noticed that. Low quality infant geometry. Haven't noticed that. But obviously somebody has because it's been fixed. Production buildings show as houses on the map screen. Now, I haven't paid that closely to that. to notice if I've had that problem. Let's see. Lack of husbandry buildings in the map legend. Again, haven't noticed that. Events sometimes affecting wrong NPCs. Events don't destroy fields and orchards. An unarmed trap still catches animals. Yeah, I haven't run into... So far, I haven't really had any of these that I've noticed. Player will not be able to ask the exotic goods vendor on the exotic goods vendor whereabouts. Again, I don't know that I've ever had to ask where the exotic vendor was. I just look for them when I'm in a town. Let's see. I rarely go and ask any of the NPCs where anybody's located, just because I kind of know where to look for them because I've been playing for so long. So a lot of these I have not noticed. Let's see. Bandits can't shoot a crossbow. Well, that's kind of in our benefit. But apparently they can now. Now, granted, I've heard bandits shooting arrows, but I don't know whether it was actually a crossbow or whether it was just a standard bow or something. I think the last time I ran into some bandits, one of them had a longbow, but I don't know that I've seen one with a crossbow. If a player's wife leaves the village because of low affection, she may take the child with her or leave him with the father, the player, depending on the child's affection. Interesting. And that's fixed. I wonder what the problem was. Let's see. Candles after loading a save game had no flames. Candles remain lighted during the day. Food storage does not give an empty chest first. Warning if destroyed. Okay. A mine doesn't block the possibility of placing other mines. Okay. Let's jump down here. Decorations block doors. Now, see, I haven't done a whole lot of with decorations. I'm trying to get to that 1 million mark before I really start buying all those decorations and stuff, because that's counterproductive to get to the achievement. Resource deposits do not reset the mining progression. Okay. I've never had that problem either. Seats don't display names in inspector mode. Now, that I've noticed. I didn't realize the seats were supposed to display the names in the inspector mode. So again, I didn't realize that was a problem. Hey, Will, thanks for joining us. Dinah, nice to see you. Let's see. Building types names doesn't match those from the main building management tab. Again, if that's a problem, I haven't noticed it. The achievement for giving gifts to the wife sometimes doesn't complete. That I've had. I have had that issue for quite some time. But I finally did get the achievement to register with Steam. So I don't know whether this was a fix on Toplitz's side or Render Cube side, or if this was a fix that they have worked out with Steam. Because originally I was with the understanding that Steam was not recognizing that the achievement was complete. So you ended up having to verify the game files through Steam, and then, of course, then you had to log out of Steam and re-log into Steam and then reload the game, trying to get this to set. And the problem is you almost had to do those steps each season you were going to be giving a gift, and it was tough to get that particular one. Yeah, I'm glad they fixed the gift giving as well. Yeah, I've seen them with a crossbow as well, Will. But I can't recall whether they were or were not shooting the crossbow, because that looked to be what they were fixing. And it may have been a bug to where most of the time they shot the crossbow, but I can't remember ever hearing the crossbow being shot. I can remember hearing arrows passing by my head because they give you that whirly whizzing sound. But I can't remember whether it was a crossbow that was being fired from. Let's see here. Building name types doesn't match those in the main building management tab. We just read that one. In death menu, load button is always highlighted. I'm not sure why that... It was always supposed to be highlighted and it wasn't? I don't know. Keyboard inputs are not named properly when entering NPC details through dialogue. Displayed value of alcohol reduction is not correct with Headstrong Talent. Again, I haven't tested that to even know that it was an issue, but now it shouldn't be at all. Player uses when accessing NPC details through the dialogue can open buildings details, which results in closing the UI. Oh, I haven't had that issue either. Let's see. Let's scroll up a little bit here. Got a few more left. Mood indicator in the dialogues doesn't update values. The Heir's hair shows through the headgear. I haven't noticed the hair showing through the headgear, but I have noticed that, and I believe I noticed it on my wife, I don't know, several videos back or something, to where the morning sunrise made her hair glow. So I don't know if that falls under the same fix or not. Now I only noticed it once, but her hair was actually glowing, like almost like it had a light bulb in it. Wrong position of infants on management map. Again, I haven't noticed that because I typically don't follow the infants on the management map. Several roads are missing on the map. Haven't noticed that either. Building details are not updated correctly when changing production power or trading. Updating building doesn't update warning count in management. Sometimes food doesn't spoil when its freshness goes down to 0. There's been a lot of these I just haven't experienced. Have I been that dense and just not noticed these? Let's see. Bogdan doesn't give money to the player, and Fanina doesn't take it away. Yeah, see, I didn't have a problem with that quest either. Production of bronze hammers gives too little value to the technology. Wow, that's a very detailed... It's a very detailed fix right there. The bronze hammers gives too little value to the technology. See, I haven't tested any of those. Glad somebody's testing them, I guess. Let's see. Player is able to place waypoint outside of map boundaries. That I have noticed. Didn't think much about it because, I mean, you can't get out there anyway. Game menu can't close with start button on gamepad. Again, I don't have gamepad, so that one I wouldn't know. Let's see. Writing animations for player, donkey, and horse not responding correctly to walking into objects. Yeah, I've noticed when like running into trees or something like that, or even rocks going up the sides of the mountain, it's almost like you're spinning your wheels and you have to like I don't know, shimmy left or right to try and get around it, or jump to try and get over it. It seems like, yeah, the running into things has been a little bit of a problem. So that one I have noticed. We'll have to maybe see how that works out today. Toddlers not using certain idle animations. NPCs eating and drinking animations looping. Teenagers using oversized mugs for drinking. Now, oversized stuff, like the apples and the pears, to me, they seem massive. But maybe that's because I'm used to seeing, you know, smaller fruit at the grocery stores, because I just don't see large fruit like that. Let's see. 2 cases when falling tree sounds could loop endlessly. Oh, wow. That would be extremely annoying, but I have not run into that. Let's see. Players sometimes holding torch in his belly when on a mount. Well, that would definitely be interesting, but it would keep him warm. Alrighty, so updated. Rendering optimizations, optimization of some systems, lighting improvements, improved water quality on low settings, house decoration system, division into interior and exterior decorations, more slots. Okay. Reworked the wind system. Now this here, I was in the game for a little bit this morning before I headed off to work, I did notice that the wind sounded more authentic, and I did like the change on that. Bandit AI, I don't know what they mean by they've changed the Bandit AI, so maybe it's their tracking AI, so when they're chasing you or something, I don't know. Default gamepad steering has changed, reworked models of the signpost, more signs along the roads. That's good, I guess. More signs along the roads. Reworked models of the signpost. I'll actually show you those here in just a minute if you haven't been in the game. They actually added signposts outside each of the villages with the village name on it, which I think is kind of cool. And I think it's in the step in the right direction towards possibly, maybe, quote, being able to name our own villages, maybe even craft your own village sign, your own road sign. That would be something I would like to see. More signs along the roads, reworked the model of the bear. Okay, not sure what was wrong with the old model, but we'll maybe see what that is. Optimizations and visual improvements to animals. Increased soothness of movement for animals and people. Optimization of loading game saves. I did notice when I loaded the game today that it loaded much quicker. So I did notice that this morning. Hi, Carrie. I appreciate you joining us. Will I lose my save if I take this update? Now, you have to follow the steps at the beginning. Let me scroll back up for you real quick, Carrie. With the update, they tell you how to join the public test area. You will not lose your save. However, I would recommend going into your regular game before you join the beta and make a secondary save. So whatever your game save is, if it's, Carrie's Medieval Dynasty, make a Carrie's Medieval Dynasty 2. Then join the beta and play that second game save. That way, you only corrupt the second one if there is a problem, and then you can unjoin the beta if you don't like it or don't want to play the update, and you can go back to the regular play, the live play, and you can play your original game save. So you're actually just going to have just 2 game saves. One is for that you're going to be playing on the test. Make sure you name it accordingly. That way you know which one to join when you are playing the test. But if you opt out of the test and you want to come back to the test, you have to opt in and out each time you want to switch back over. Hey, Gaming Reflections, how you doing? I appreciate you joining me. Let's see. Let's get back down here. We were here. Optimization of loading game saves. Let's see. They reworked the models of the food storage building modules, the hen house, the pigsty, the hunting lodge, the stable, the smithy, the sewing buildings. Interesting that they've reworked all of those models. We'll have to see if we can tell a difference. I'm not sure. Maybe they've added more decorations or something in them that are just standard. Some of the buildings in the villages have improved walls, reworked icons, and meshes of some items. Increased number of skills and technology points from hunting dangerous animals. That one's going to be nice for those who have not reached the highest skill level for hunting. So increase the number of skill and technology points from hunting dangerous animals. So it looks like we might be getting more points for hunting like maybe the wolf, the bison, the bear, and maybe the boar, since those are all aggressive animals. That'll be interesting. We may have to try and see if we can tell if there is an increase in that. Increased influence of home quality and installation on inhabitant mood levels. Okay, that's going to be helpful. Decorations in houses increase the mood of the inhabitants. Oh, that's going to be cool right there. So having decorations in the house is actually going to increase your inhabitants' moods now. Let's see. Mood of workers affects the speed of production. Now, we've kind of already known that the mood affects their production, trading and stuff, building repair. It has affected that in the past. So let's see. From negative 100% equals production speed. Okay, so there's all the levels there. That's good. It looks like they have adjusted those a little bit. NPCs don't work at workbenches if production is lacking resources, tools, etc. Well, that's been a thing. I mean, if your NPCs don't have tools, they don't work. If they don't have materials, they don't work. I'm not sure how that's a fix. Not unless people were continuing to work when they didn't have tools. Interesting. Oh, let's see. Hi, Anna. Thanks for joining us. You finally get wife to 100 mood? Yeah, probably so. I don't know that I've gotten anybody up to 100% on the mood. I believe the highest I've gotten anybody was about 84, 85%. But again, I don't play the game to maximize mood. I just play the game and the mood just increases naturally. So it's not like I'm going out of my way to increase mood for any particular reason. Let's see. Player's dirtiness now has a chance of poisoning the character while eating. Whoa. Okay. Take your baths. Player's dirtiness now has a chance of poisoning the character while eating. Go wash your hands before you eat, kids. Water in lakes influence the perceived temperature. Oh, so if you're overheated, you can go into the lake or the river and lower your temperature. Not that I've ever really had a temperature issue. I think once or twice I've gotten the little overheating effect. Maybe because I had on like the winter gear in the summertime or something like that. I forgot to change my clothes or something. But that's kind of cool. Storage capacity limit in Kitchen 2 has been increased. Again, I don't use the storages in the workstation buildings because they're typically used as an overflow. So all of your workstation buildings, if the resource or food storage is full, then the work storage or the workstation storage is the overflow. So you can check those periodically and you'll notice that there may or may not have been things put in there because your resource or food storage reached max capacity and they didn't have any place to put anything. Also, with that being said, if you're noticing that your villagers are not working, check the storages. Because again, if the storages are full or even almost full, they'll stop working until there's room in the storage to place more stuff. So that's something you guys want to check. Hens produce more eggs and fewer feathers. Geese produce more feathers and fewer eggs. Okay, there you go. If you are actually wanting to have eggs for producing, for making food items, then hens are going to be the way to go. If you're wanting to gather more feathers, so let's say that you're making a bunch of arrows or something to sell each season, then geese are going to be the way you want to go if you're not too concerned about eggs. Otherwise, you can still gather the feathers apparently from the hunting lodge, which is kind of what I'm doing right now. Only horses can be assigned to the stable. If donkeys were assigned in a saved game state, they will remain. Okay, so you have to have, what was that? The donkey, they added the donkey shelter right there. So they added the donkey shelter. Oops. So you have to have the donkey shelter if you're going to be getting a donkey from here on out. But if you had a donkey in the stable before the update, it'll stay. Good. Let's see, where were we at? There we are, right here. Horses can only be assigned to the stable. Delay for horse whistling. Wait a minute. That's an update, right? Updated, yeah. Delay for horse whistling. So maybe there's going to be a timer, so you can't call your horse multiple times in a row or something. Hen house now requires 50 farm technology and pigsty 100 farming technology. Let's see. Attacking with fists can now be done by holding attack button, same as with other tools. Smooth sprint speed change when encumbered instead of blocking opportunities. Running in water is possible. Now, the running in water. They say it's possible, but I'm wondering if that's attached to skills, because I believe there is a skill that you can take that allows easier movement in water. I'm wondering if that's attached to a skill. Tweaked character jump. Change animation behavior when jumping on mount. Reduce character fall damage. Okay, that's good. That way if you trip over a rock, you don't lose half your health. Oh, let's see. Let me catch up on chat here. They will stop performing the animation when they don't have tools. Well, that makes sense. They used to still do the animation of the... Oh, okay, I see. I appreciate that, Red Gal. Reasonable to be poisoned by dirty hands. Yeah, it is reasonable. Wash your hands. Wash your hands. Use soap and water. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know how the update and the public staging area works with the Epic Games. I believe it's only on Steam, so you might be right. If they are not working, send them to the mines. Was it Dr. Solari? Thanks for joining us. Yeah, if they're not working, send them to the mines. Get to work. Glad I didn't get rid of my hen house yet. Yeah, I got rid of several of the animal workstations because I think I had all of them, but I didn't need them all. I just wanted to buy them all and, put stuff in them. And then I ended up getting rid of a bunch of them to kind of consolidate what I was doing in my game. Glad that you can get a donkey early game now. Now, they do say that it is available early game. I don't know how early game yet. I haven't been in the game to see that yet. Maybe it takes time for the mount to arrive based on how far away they are. You might be right. That might be what they mean by the delay in the call whistle. I assumed it meant that there was a timer, so, instead of calling, smashing the button 3 or 4 times in a row, maybe you can only hit it once every 15 or 20 seconds or something, maybe. But you might be right. It might be based on how far away the mount is from you, or how far away you are from the stables. Luthien, thanks for joining us. I have 97 sheep currently, aiming for 200. Oh my goodness. You're running a wool factory over there. Since they lowered the tech gains for the hen house and pigsty, I imagine donkey shelter takes place in the farming tech right after pigsty. Yeah, we'll try and look at that. We're still getting through this list here, so let's get through this list and then we can hop into the game. Change animation behavior when jumping on mount. Reduce character fall damage. Yeah, the fall damage that was a little funky because you some of these little hills you go over and you literally trip over a rock and you'd lose quarter health. That was a little excessive, I thought. Fist fighting animation when sprinting. Okay. Improved torch fire. I thought the torch fire looked pretty good, but they apparently have improved on that. Road signs. Some fences and gates don't collide with the camera in third person. Herald now reacts to player being dirty or drunk like others. Well, that makes sense. Herald dialogues now have icons. Arrows from all bows can now be shot earlier. Okay. Longbow is now 30% slower than regular bow, up from 50%. Recurve bow is now 30% faster than the regular bow, down from 50%. Okay, so they've changed the speeds on the bows, or at least the longbow and the recurve bow. Camera shake intensity for building hammer and pickaxe. Numerous tweaks and improvements to the terrain. Numerous snow improvements on terrain, building, and other objects. Those will be interesting to see. Let's see. Quests. Mouths to feed now requires fish meat instead of berries. Okay, so you're going to have your fish meat available instead of your berries. Chapters 2. Hunt quest now passes after hunting an animal. Fish and birds are included. Generic kid quest now, let's see, can now be only assigned to children other than the player's kid. Aha! That quest right there is what I was mentioning earlier, to where my son was calling me Mr. for the quest when he had the quest, to make kids hammers or whatever, because they wanted to play adult. This is what they're talking about. The generic kid quest can now only be assigned to children other than the player's kid. So your son should not get that quest anymore. It should only be the other children in the village. When Heir is born, no event will trigger in this season. Okay. I don't know that I had an event trigger when my son was born. It's been a while. Building menu descriptions updated, item description updated, experimental optimization for several UIs, inventory, trading menu, NPC management, field management, knowledge updated and explained, several UI text lines corrected and updated. Scroll up a little bit, icons for statuses in the HUD. That I have noticed. I can see that some of those might actually become annoying, but we'll see. Infant is no longer visible on compass. Notifications about missing workers' animals are from now on only visible if the building has any assignments. Game setting not divided to game settings and controls. Okay. Knowledge description now scroll automatically if player uses gamepad. Tutorials now scroll automatically if player uses gamepad. Tutorial videos now have input matching controller type. Mouse, keyboard, PS4, PS5, Xbox. You can see they're actually working on console. And all tutorial videos were updated. NPC details family part now displayed. Relation type with family members and shows siblings, grandparents, grandchildren. Now, anytime player changes home assignment for an NPC, there is a notification. Earlier, it was only if family had more than one member. Player now can't change language outside of main menu. So whatever your language setting is, apparently you have to do it from the main menu and not from in-game, I guess. Again, I haven't changed the languages in my game, so I wouldn't know anything about that. All sounds have occlusion now. Occlusion is to simulate the effect of sound being reduced in high frequency content and or amplitude because of an object being the source of the listener. Being the source and the listener. Okay. Let's see. Broom sounds will attenuate, more natural. Okay. Reverb to sound of flail. Wait a minute. Flail. Do we have a flail in the game now? Interesting. I didn't realize we had that kind of a weapon in the game. I knew we had the iron-studded cudgel or something, but I wonder if that's what they're talking about. Flail. There's a flail. That's the. Isn't that the? It's like the cudgel, but it's got the chain with maybe the ball on the end. Isn't that the flail? I have not seen that in the game. Ah. Excuse me, I'm taking a drink here. Alrighty, let me catch up on chat here a little bit. Not tech gains, tech requirements. 200 sheep seems excessive. I just loaded the game and everything I have been building is all destroyed. What version? You might want to contact Toplitz, but if you... Because I made the mistake this morning and I did not load the public test properly. And my stuff was destroyed or missing. And I went onto the Discord, there, the Toplitz Discord this morning, and I was telling them about that. And that's when they told me that I had not actually joined the public test. So you want to make sure to follow the directions in the update statement here about how to join the public test staging area. And it should take care of that unless your game save is older than 1.0. If your game save is older than 1.0, you have to start over with a brand new game save with the current update. Because anything older than the full release back in September is not going to load properly. Let's see here. Never tried public test because my dear old PC can't handle it. How long is it normal that we have to wait before it's going to be normal update to the main game? The quick answer is I don't know. I even asked this morning. So I reached out to my contact over at Toplitz. Goldie is who I typically talk to over at Toplitz, and she does great. She answers my questions when she can and when she's allowed. And she's been getting me loads of information for my guides for the past several months. But I did reach out to her this morning and asked what the anticipated length was before we had to wait for this to come to the live version of the game, and she told me she didn't know. So if she tells me she doesn't know, that means she truly doesn't know, because if she can't tell me, she usually says she can't tell me. So I believe that she truly doesn't know. However, she did let me know that with internal testing that they've done of the new update, that as long as there were no major issues, that the that the update is ready to go. And that's quoted by her. So it could, I mean, theoretically, it could go live tomorrow if there's no hiccups today. Will it go live tomorrow? I doubt it. I have a feeling they're going to give it the weekend to make sure that, you know, things don't pop up. So, but I would think that possibly sometime next week, is again, as long as there's no major updates. But I truly don't know when it's going to go to live. Let's see here. Your longboat and wedding feast all gone? I don't know about that. Wedding table, not too bad. Longboat looks like Cyclone. Let's see here. What are the two new icons on the top? Anvil, money bag. Okay, so let's get into the game here. Let me close this out because no, I don't want to close that out. Let's minimize that And then let me get rid of this there. So we can get into the game. And I am already in the game. Just paused. So I've got all of my stuff set to... Do I have it all set to unlimited? No, I don't. I need to set... Let me set some things here. Let's go unlimited so I don't have to worry about food and weight and all of that good stuff. Let's do that. But as you can see, they've added the town signs right outside the town. I'm outside Hornica right now, but they've added the little town sign for Hornica. There it is. They've done this outside of each town as well. So now coming into each town, you've got the little stick with the sign on it with the name, you know, for Gustovia and Denica and all of them. And like I'd mentioned earlier, I think this is a great addition because I believe that we could possibly be closer to actually naming our own villages, which a lot of people have been asking to be able to name their villages on the map. So hopefully this is a step in that direction. But to answer your question, if you look at the top left of the screen there, you've got a couple of icons. You got the little bag. I've got a bag and the anvil. This is indicating that there is something wrong with those particular buildings. You either don't have assignments, they don't have materials, the building is broken. So it's letting you know that there are issues within those buildings, and you would go into your management tab and you could start checking those buildings, and you can see everything is marked with the exclamation point. And if you go into the houses, now see I've got one house that's not built, so that's going to be part of that little icon that was on the top left. I've got some that need repair. So that's just all it's telling you, is that you need to be looking in those categories to find out what is wrong with those buildings. So like if we go into production, I've got a lot of problems in production. I got some that are telling me that I don't have materials. So if I go in here and see damaged and no resources, so then I would say, okay, well, flatbread, I don't have any resources, which means I don't have any wheat grain. But I'm not too terribly worried about that because they are going through my wheat grain pretty quickly. So, but this is a copy of my season 5. So I can, you know, once I'm done with the stream and maybe tonight, I can go in and correct some of these issues that I may be having and stuff like that in my regular season 5. I literally just made a copy of my season 5 so I could try the public test today. But let me get back out of here. But that's what those little icons are for on the top left of the screen. Let's see here. Let me catch up on chat again. Wish your kid could still do the quest. Yeah, I do too, but I think that they would have to that generic kid quest, I think they would actually have to add a quest that was separate from the generic kid quest, because it would have to have a different dialogue option. Otherwise, your child, again, is still going to call you Mister. But maybe they have stopped doing that because they've added more stuff for the heir. So I don't know. We'll have to see. There is a cutscene when the heir was born. Yeah, I do remember the cutscene when the heir was born. So maybe there's not going to be a cutscene anymore. Huh. Let's see. It would be nice to know if a farm animal is pregnant. Cows, horses, sheep, etc. Yeah, that would be good to have, I guess. Now, granted, I know it's good for the villagers, because then you're aware of what villager is going to be somewhat out of the workforce for 2 years, as to where the animals don't stop producing because they're pregnant, and they don't stop producing because they have, you know, the babies. So an indicator of when an animal is pregnant would strictly be cosmetic, so to say. It would have no bearing on the gameplay at all. It would just be, oh, look, I'm going to have babies next season or something. Let's see. The flail is the thresher. Oh, okay. Interesting. So that's the scythe, because that's what it looks like they're using in the barn to thresh the grain. It looks like a scythe, which I thought was weird, but okay. Okay, whoops. Hang on, I got to tab out to scroll down here. Catching up on the chat. Trying to stay up on the chat. Flail is a tool used for threshing the wheat and other cereals. Okay. The only reason I had thought about the flail as a weapon is because I have played other games to where they have called it a flail, and it was what I described. It was basically a ball on the end of a chain, which was on the end of basically a stick. Now, if that weapon has a different name, I'm not sure what it is. I've just played other games to where that weapon was called a flail. So that's where I got that from. But thank you for clarifying that it is the tool that's being used in the barn. However, so far, that the threshing area in the barn, they're showing what, in my opinion, looked like the scythe. Or the sickle, not the scythe, the sickle, right? The sickle is the really long one. Or is it the scythe? Maybe it's the scythe is the long one. The sickle is the little handheld one with the hook on it. That tool is actually not really required for the farmer. At least it's not stated that way. It's typically only required for the the barn worker. It's not required for the barn worker. It's for the farmer that is typically required. But they show that in the animation, even though the barn does require either the sickle or the scythe. So you could actually have the sickle, and you can restrict them the scythe, but yet your barn worker will still use the scythe as the flail to thresh the grain. I think I explained that right. Let's see. Do the apprentices gain experience from standing at the buildings, or is it just a visual fix? A lot of times you will see the villagers actually standing in the buildings, and they are working, but I believe that they had mentioned that they might have fixed some of that. So a lot of times, just because you see a villager standing around doesn't always mean they're not working, but it is a good idea if you see them standing around to see who they are, see their workstation, and see if there's a problem. So is the resource storage full? Is the food storage full? Do they have resources or tools that they need to craft or produce certain stuff? So it's probably a good idea to check. And then once you check and make sure all of their needs are met for that particular workstation, it may just be a visual thing to where they're essentially taking a smoke break. In the past, animals aren't pregnant. They give birth at the start of the season. The animals have never actually shown that they were pregnant. It's either, they had a baby or they didn't have a baby. For the same reason that I had mentioned earlier, that with the villagers, the villagers are pregnant. So you get that notification with typically a season ahead of time, or maybe 2 seasons ahead of time, of them actually having the baby, but that lets you know you're going to have a potential village worker not working for 2 years. So that way you have a little bit of time to prep and be prepared for when she's off being a mother. You can either step in as Rasimir and fill that position yourself, or you can place somebody else from another workstation in her position. Small stick with chain To a long stick for threshing, also a weapon. Okay. Barn tool is not the scythe. Looks more like a whip, but scythe is closest that you can make or buy. Yeah, because we can't make the tool that is explained. Just, you know, like Runny Nose is explained here. The small stick with a chain to a long stick for the threshing, also a weapon. And then what I had described as well, we can't make that kind of tool or weapon, quote unquote, in the game. So the scythe is what's used. Alrighty, so we got that, and then we got the new icon at the top of the screen. You got the little signpost at the top of the screen indicating the Wagoneer. So we actually do have horse and buggy in the game, but you don't see them wandering around the road. So if we actually go up to the Wagoneer, we can choose I need a ride. Of course, you can ask him where to find certain vendors and whether they've heard anything interesting, just like some of the other NPCs' dialogue as well. But if you want a ride, you want to make sure that you have coin on you, because it's going to differ as to how far you're actually traveling. You know, granted, there is a back option, so if you did not want to spend the money or you don't have the money, you can back out of this and do it later. But we can actually travel. Let's say we're going to travel to, let's go to Branica. That's going to be near the mining village. So we'll go to Branica. And then you're given another option. So you have an option to back out of this and say, okay, no, I don't want to spend that 500 coin to get across the map. I'll just ride there myself, which the map is small enough you can do that fairly easily. But being that you're in Hornica and that you would have to pretty much travel through packs of wolves, coming from or going to Hornica, the fast travel option, a lot of people I think it's going to be beneficial for sure. That way you don't have to worry about your donkey or your horse dying because you've run in through a pack of animals or bandits, wink wink, not paying attention to the game. So having this option would be pretty good. So then you just choose let's go, and then scene changes, and then all of a sudden you're where you're chosen to be. So we're across the map now over by Branica, and there's our little Wagoneer. It appears that the Wagoneer is the same, so it's going to be the same model. Excuse me. And then of course Branica's got a sign outside saying there were new models for some of these buildings, but I'm not noticing the new model. Maybe let's go and sleep the night, make it day again. Hope we get the Wagoneer at our towns. I don't know if that's going to be a thing or not. I think it would be neat, but as small as the map is, I don't know if that's going to be anything soon. All right, let's go to sleep. Let's just sleep the next day. Get down out of the rafters there. Yeah, see, I had put the little figurines around my son's thing. Oh, he's got a quest for us. All right, well, let's see what this is. Let's actually get back into third person here because I'm going to go outside in a second. Let's do an F5 real quick, and let's see what Mr. Lambert has for us. His affection is 0. Okay. Wow. His affection was like at 50 or something, I thought. Dad, look what I found. It's for you. Very nice. Thank you. Okay. What are you up to, boy? Dad, I'm bored. Could you take me with you on a hunt? Oh, okay, but promise me that you will be careful and listen to everything I say. Okay, well, that sounds, it's just the standard taking the son hunting quest. All right, Dad, I promise. All right. Are you going to skin something this time? Yeah, I wonder if it'd be nice if they added that. I would really like that. Here's a knife. You get to skin the animals this time. Let's kind of take a walk through town and see, because there were supposedly some buildings that were textures changed and stuff. Next step for the game is to make our own wagon and use a horse with it, so it can be transported lots of goods. Yeah, I would. Septum, I would definitely love to have that, to where maybe it's only used with the donkey, not the horse, and it would increase the inventory that you can carry across the map. So like if you were building an outpost or something across the map, like I've got the 5 different villages around the map and everything, so it would be nice if when I was at the logging village, I'm like, okay, I'm going to be repairing houses, or I'm going to be adding a building over in the mining village. I need to transport some logs from there, but you don't have to, because the resource storages are all shared. So I think a wagon, if they're going to introduce a wagon to the game, I think the resource storages need to be individual instead of shared. So that way, in my game anyway, so I have a logging village, I got a farming village, I got a mining village, I've got an animal village, and I've got a fishing and hunting village. So, and each one is doing kind of their own thing. But because the resource storages and the food storages are shared, then transporting items is not really a thing. So, but I would definitely like to see a wagon introduced into the game that we could actually pull behind the donkey. But I would also in turn like to see the resource storages not shared. Maybe increase the weights that they can hold individually, but they're not shared, if that makes sense, especially if they're going to be putting in wagons. So that way you actually have to watch your inventory a little bit closer rather than just building another resource storage. Let me catch up on chat here a little bit. Running knows I did a video yesterday on my wife running off and taking my 16-year-old heir away. Now they fix it. Yeah, that's the way that happens sometimes. Fill a crate with ore at the mine and get a wagoneer to take you home. Yeah, but you have to get to the wagoneer, because the wagoneer is not going to be right outside the mine, so you have to go to the nearest town. And I believe the only mine that is closest to a town is the one where my mining village is at, because it's literally right outside Branica. So, I mean, yeah, you could probably go and drop items right next to the wagoneer from the mine, and then go to the wagoneer, pick all of your items up, and then you're close enough to talk to the wagoneer, and then he can take you home, or take you to the town closest to your home. But we also still have the option that if you're mining late at night, on season change, then you could just load up and you can teleport to your house at night. Or you can go into the menu and change to unlimited weight. So there's a bunch of different options. I'm catching up on some of the chat here. At Gaming Reflection, the wagoneer charges more if you have 200 sheep with you. I think it might be a caravan at that point. Can you see that? The wagoneer pulling 200 sheep in tow going across the map from Hornica to Rolnika or something. Can you kill the Wagoneer? I don't know. That is... Well, we're taking our son hunting. Come on, son. Let's go see if we can kill a Wagoneer real quick. I don't know if you can kill him or not. But let's see. Where's my horse? Come here, horse. Come on, horse. Let's go. Run, run, run. Oh, I should have checked the whistle option. Mr. Wagoneer, we're coming for you, buddy. All right, let's see here. Let's exit this. Let's do a quick F5 because I have a feeling that if we can kill him, it's gonna not be good. Got that. Loaded. You might want to close your eyes, Lambert. We kill you? No. Did it even stick in you? Hang on. Hi there. Don't mind me. Nope. Did it go through him? Nope, that's the wrong button. No, like I've completely lost my bolt. Okay. Can't kill the Wagoneer. He's indestructible. We now know. Willem, thanks for joining us. Alrighty. So let's see. What else were we going to check here? Let's see. I was looking at the textures of the buildings. I didn't notice any of the models changing for the buildings. Let me run back down into town and take a look at some of these buildings I've got. But they had mentioned that there were some updates to the models. They just didn't give specifics as to what was updated. Come on, get back on the road. There we go. Still getting used to riding the horse over the donkey. This donkey was definitely a smoother ride. But the horse is definitely fast. Alright, so... anything different that I'm noticing? I'm not really noticing anything different. I mean, maybe there's more stuff on the shelves. More decoration, so to say. But I'm not necessarily noticing anything different about that building. You can see I've actually made me a little stone storage area here. Just, 4 fence pieces, and then I can, drop some excess stone in there, so that way it looks like people are coming out of the mine, dropping excess stone, just to get it out of the way. Came in here, stacked some of the logs in the log bin area, came around the side. Oh, my planks fell over. Whoops, get out of third person. I did have those stacked up, so they were nice and neat. There were 3 stacks, but apparently they fell over. And then, is my firewood still over here? Yeah, I stacked some firewood over here. Should have Lambert do that. That'd be nice. Not noticing anything different to this building. What other buildings that were mentioned as far as model updates? Because I'm not noticing any real changes to the building models. Not, like I said, not unless they've added more decoration or something in the buildings. I'm not noticing anything. Melody, thanks for joining us. Hi all, bummed I'm late. I'll have to go back, watch everything I missed. Oh yeah, I've been streaming now for, what about an hour and 15 minutes, I think. Yeah, see, I don't notice anything different in the building models. Oh, come on in. Can you come in? Am I trapped in the building now? Come on. Just swing that door open there, buddy. Can I get out? Can you move? Thank you. That's a good boy. Okay, what are we supposed to be hunting? Deer and boar? Okay, same thing as we had to hunt last time, I think. Get back into third person. Let's go over here. Let's see about getting some boar. My traps, I probably need to come back and check all of those because I haven't checked those in a few days. Actually, I don't think I checked them at all last season. Let's see. Do I have all my coins on me? I do. Look, I'm up to 821,000, almost 822,000 coins. So I'm working, trying to get that up to that million coin mark. Trying to read chat while I'm running across the Tules here. Of course, that didn't work out so well for me the last time I did that. May have to rebuild a house to see the changes if there are any. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back into the updates to see if they specified what buildings that were the models were updated. And like I said, oh, hang on, we're gonna load this up. You need to be quiet. Thank you. I don't know what was changed about the models, and it could literally be that they've added just extra generic decoration inside some of the buildings. It may not even be anything that's truly noticeable. So I'm not exactly sure because they really didn't give a whole lot of detail. He's just taking off, isn't he? Still going. Hey, bunny rabbit. Where'd the boar go? Didn't he run down here? Well, here he is over here. Alright, turn and look at us. Or not. Now he's going to run off. There we go. Just scared 800,000 coins. No big deal. Yeah, no big deal. Goku, thanks for joining us. You know me, big money. Alright, let's see. Are we going to have more boar? Let's check the boar, see if they're wild animals. Oh, it looks like there was only 2 boar that time because it's all grayed out now. Do we have any more boar? Deer? Deer way over here. Let's go over here and see if we can catch a deer. But this update is extremely big, and I want to get... I need to try and start getting through these seasons so I can get to where we can play as the Heir, especially now that we have the option to change to the Heir without having to die first. Whoops, I thought that was a Wyson. Moose. There's one of those shovels that I was questioning was in the game. Oops, nope. Give me that back. All of that stuff. Is that a deer? Yeah, it's a stag. Oh, there's a boar right there. Thank you. And... thank you. Here we go, Lambert. We got that done. Thank you, Father. That was exciting. No problem, son. We should do this more often. Good. That affection at 0. I thought I had his affection up higher. So I'm going to have to see about the gift giving to the children. Oh, alerted this guy here. Thank you. Skin this up. Time to add some new buildings then. Yeah, let me, you know what, let me skin this boar. And yeah, maybe we can go and If somebody could look real quick at the update and see if it was specified at what building or buildings were part of the update or part of the model update, I should say, real quick, and post that in the chat for me. And I'm going to get back to the village, and we can see about just maybe adding, you know, 1 or 2 of those buildings to see what's changed. Okay, so they have changed running into stuff here. So you do seem to skim off of stuff when you run into it, as to where you usually get stuck on it. Yeah, see, we've skimmed off several of these trees. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, see, you just kind of slide to one side of the tree now. But you get stuck on a rock, though. Come on. I can't even jump to get over that. That's usually what I have issues with. I'm stuck on that tree, though. But it is better. I can definitely tell that it's better. Hey, Mr. Wagoneer. Wait a minute. Oh, he's outside. I was I was like, is he outside our village? But we're right outside Baranica. Catching up on chat here. No kid likes their dad. Don't feel bad about affection. Yeah, there's times. Alrighty, let's see here. Let's pull up. Nicole, thanks for joining us. Nas, I remember getting stuck. I remember getting stuck on a tick. Okay. And the wolves ate my donkey. And me. Good times. Yeah. You really got to be careful when you're running through wolf territory. Especially when you're on the donkey or the horse. You want to make sure that you're constantly keeping an eye on the animal's stamina. That way, when you do, if you are going to run through areas that are, you know, high wolf areas or something, that you've got plenty of stamina to outrun them. And then you've really got to make sure that you're not running into those sticks or the rocks or trees. You want to really be mindful about weaving through there. And you can usually outrun them, even if you run right through the middle of the pack. But if it is a pack, sometimes you can get stuck on the pack itself. So if they're grouped together, you may not be able to run through them. So you do definitely want to be careful when you're on your donkey or your horse and running through those areas. Wisent, I would recommend not running through the Wisent, because the Wisents are much faster than the wolf. They hit you much harder than the wolf, and they actually chase you farther than the wolf. So you could potentially run out of stamina and the Wisent still be chasing you. So you definitely want to be careful of the wolf and the Wisents, whether you're on a donkey, a horse, or on foot. Take, nice to see you. And I hope I said that right this time. How are you doing today? Let's see. Rework models of the food storage building, hen house, pigsty, hunting lodge. Okay. So the food storage, I didn't notice anything different about the food storage. Also reworked models of the stable because they added the donkey shelter. So that's probably why they reworked the stable. Reworked models of the smithy. Reworked models of the sewing building. Okay. Well, the smithy is right here, because I've got 4 smithies, but I did not notice anything different about them. So let's see. I guess I gotta have some stuff on me to be able to actually build a new smithy. Let me grab some logs here. I know I have a big stack. Yeah, there's a big stack of logs right there. You ever wonder how to actually stack these? If you line right up on the post here, you can actually walk up the post and then jump and push forward a little bit. And you can actually stand on the post, just like that. And then open your tab, or tab to open your inventory, go to your logs there, and then you can hit X and then just F. You want to drop 1 log at a time. Do that, and then it drops the log right in place for you. If you've ever wondered how to stack those in there neatly and stuff. That's how I do it. I'm sure other people do it differently, but it works best for me. And then I don't have to worry about, trying to get in here and getting lined up and stuff like that. Because you don't actually get stuck on any of these. You can see I'm actually walking through all of these logs here. But if you're inside here, it's hard to see what it's doing sometimes. Because if you're in third person, the post is blocking your view. But if you're here, walk up here, jump, get right on the top of that, and then you can actually just drop it just like that. As long as you're not turned any different direction, it'll drop just fine. Let's see. I think I need a hammer. I don't think I have a hammer on me. A hammer. I think I have enough hammers. Let's equip the hammer. 2. And let's go see about building a smithy real quick. See if there's something different. I don't know if I can place it here or not, or if I'm too close to the next village. Let's see. Buildings. Production. Smithy. Oh, good. It'll let me place it. Okay. Really? I gotta have stones. I think I have to have planks, too. Grab some stones and planks. Yeah, Goku, I could probably do that. Take some screenshots and then go back to my normal game to see what it is. But as I can see, right now I don't see any difference. Because these are the buildings that would be in my normal game. But I can definitely switch back and forth and do that. But let's just go ahead and build one. I can always tear it down. This isn't my regular playthrough. Planks, where you at? Planks, there we go. Grab some of those, and then I need some stone. Grab some of those. I think that's all I need. Let's see here. I'm going to try and build this and read chat here. Dark Lord, thanks for joining us. Is this still the same season? So it's a copy of my season 5. So I actually have 2 saves of my season 5 right now. And I saved this one specifically to try the test branch out. So I have my regular season 5 is still saved. I can opt out of the testing stage and then go back and play the live like I normally have been doing. Oh, here, I'm just sitting here beating on a post here. Yeah, see, so far I'm not noticing any difference. So all of the stuff that was on that shelf, I'm pretty sure was on the other shelf in the other buildings. I would switch back and forth between the games, but that would also mean that I would have to opt out of the test branch to be able to do that, and that's going to take too much time. And then if I have to, then I'm jumping back into the test branch, I have to opt back in again. But I can do those later to check them personally. But so far, I'm not noticing anything different. There is a camera shake when the hammer hits. I did notice them talking about that. Yeah, see that this Smithy 3 looks just like my other Smithy 3s. I'm not noticing any change other than the fact that this one has people in it. All the decorations seem to be the same. You know what? The furnace might be a little bit different going up through the roof. The chimney might be more round than it was before. That might be something. But that's very questionable right now. And I could, matter of fact, let me do this. Let me get into first person. Let me get rid of my hammer. Get rid of my HUD. Let me take a couple of screenshots here. Just watched everybody change clothes at their workstation. And then that way, when I go back into my regular game later, I can kind of look to see what changes have been made. If I can notice any at all. But you know, obviously it'll be later when I do that. Now, they said that they reworked the fire on the torch or something. Oh, maybe the fire coming off the torch. Maybe it is a little bit different. Alright, let's take a couple of screenshots of the torch. That way I can compare it later. That away. Yeah, Goku, I should do that. Take screenshots of some of the different buildings in this particular play, and then I can go back to my normal play and check to see if they're different. So we got the blacksmith done. What was one of the other buildings? The food storage. Again, the food storage doesn't look any different. Let's take a couple of screenshots of that. That way I've got some of those. I wish they fixed that door, though. That door seems to stick. But I'm not noticing anything in here. Like I said, unless they've just added some stuff on the shelves. Take some pictures of that. The ladder's always been here. Maybe they've changed some of the boards in the top. I don't remember that board being that way there, but that doesn't mean it wasn't before. Come on. If I can get up here. Yeah. Nope. You didn't know you could get up here, you can. You can actually drop things up here. So if you wanted to put like little baskets up here and stuff, you could for decoration. But you literally hop to the edge of the ladder. So let me kind of show you here. Get into third person. So instead of coming onto the ladder straight on, you want to kind of line up with this edge of the ladder. And then you jump, pushing forward. And you see I'm actually on the ladder now. And you might be able to jump again. There we go. And then you want to face towards this direction and jump and push forward at the same time. And you can get up there like that. It'd be helpful if that little cross member right there wasn't in the way, but you can get up there. And you can do the same thing in the resource storage as well, up the ladders. So if you wanted to get up there, maybe decorate in the rafters of those two buildings, you can. So there's a ladder here, And there's a ladder here, but this one here, there's nothing to jump to because there's no floor or anything. And this one here, there's no floor here, but you could get on top of the post. See if I can do it without falling off. Oh, they put that cross member there. There didn't used to be a cross member there. So now you can't, I don't think you can get up there now. No, it's not even letting me jump right now. Oh, there we go. I got up there. Yeah, you can cut. Yeah, there we go. I got up there. Look at that. Just barely. But you might. So an idea is, if you wanted to, I get up there again. I know it's getting dark. I'm going to have to sleep the night again. You could possibly in quotes there, place some planks across here to decorate the ceiling a little bit. Problem is you can't get over into the next area because they put this, there's the cross member right here. That cross member didn't used to be there. Either that or it was up higher. But I don't think it was there before. Because I've walked on all of those areas before. Been a long time, but I've done it. And I don't think that you can get from here. I don't think you can get high enough up in this here. Yeah, you can't get high enough up on that one to jump over there. But you can. Let me sleep the night real quick. What time is it? Oh shoot, 1 o'clock. I don't have much more time left. Let's see. Back up in here now that it's daylight and you can see. So what you can do if you wanted to, as far as decorating. Now granted, this building is a whole lot harder to get in, up there because you got that decoration that's bumping you. All right, come on. What you can do is break this out. Like that. You hammer away so you can see. Then you should be able to get up on the roof here. See if I can still do this. There we go. Then you can actually get up on the roof of your building and you can actually take some screenshots from your roof. Go back into first person. You can take some aerial, somewhat aerial shots without needing additional files or anything to download. I know that there are some files out there that allow you to, I guess, fly or jump really high or something like that. I don't plan on doing those. I mean, that's, you know, Toplitz has said that it's not good for the files, that you could corrupt a game save. And as many hours as I've put into some of my saves, I don't even want to attempt to try and do that. But this is something that is in the game. It's not going to corrupt your files or anything like that. You just have to rebuild this section. But you can actually get up on a roof, and you can do this in a few different buildings. You can do the same thing on the food storage. Matter of fact, it's actually easier to get onto the roof of the food storage. But depending on where your buildings are located in your village, you can actually take you a nice little aerial shot of your village. Then you can just hop back down. Of course, I've got unlimited health and all that stuff set, so damage isn't an issue. But you can come up here and drop logs or something. I think all I have is on me is logs. I got planks on me. Let's see if we can actually drop a plank here, or if it's not wide enough. Plank, X, nope, wrong button, X, F. Yeah, see, the plank is smaller than the ones that they show up here. So that doesn't fit. Let's try a log. Can you place a log up here? Now see, the log fits. So if you wanted to actually place logs up here, you could. Now whether will they stay? I don't know. Because I thought my stacked planks would stay stacked, but they didn't. Tech 3 buildings you didn't think they touched. They may not have, but I don't think that they specified in the update announcement which tech size building they messed with. So I don't have the specific, whether it was buildings 1, 2, or 3 or whatever. There is smoke now. I've never seen smoke before. Oh, is there smoke coming out of the... Oh, all kinds of wrong buttons there. All right, let me get that out of the way. Pick that up. That's going to bug me. Smoke coming out of that? Oh, there is smoke coming out of there. I don't know that I've noticed smoke coming out of that either. Okay, so that could be a thing. Take a screenshot of that. Asking me if I want to insulate my Wattled Builder's Hut. Yeah, I believe... Oh. You can upgrade it. Can we? Let's see. Add insulation. Really? Oh! We can add insulation to these buildings. Okay. Let's get... what's going on? I got some... Why is there a gap there? Limestone. Grab some limestone. Do I have any daub? Yeah, let's grab a little daub in case that's needed for some of them. We can do that here too. Look at that. Oh. Very cool. That way. There we go. So you can actually insulate the work buildings now. Now, okay. That literally just brought up a couple of questions for myself. Wood demand. So typically the wood demand is based on the occupants of a house. It didn't have anything to do with the workstation. So now, because we can insulate the workstations, is that going to affect the wood demand? So are you going to use more wood during the day because your workstation building may not be insulated than you would if it was insulated? Okay. That's interesting. I'm going to have to check on that. Gonna have to insulate my work buildings. Yeah. Now, if you guys have been following, I don't always, if you see my houses, I don't always follow the standard. Sorry, my dog is barking. Apparently neighbor kids are ringing my doorbell. I don't follow the standard, so I don't always go and use stone and then all over the house. I change it up. So the roofing styles will be different. The wall styles, I like to interchange them a little bit. So, I would use stone and then the log, and then do the limestone and daub in most cases as far as the insulation, because I don't want all of my houses to be just stone and limestone, because to me that's dull. I like to have a little variety in my village. So I know by doing log and daub with the stone and limestone that I am sacrificing villager mood because of the insulation value. And I know that going into it. But I prefer to have the look over the mood, I guess you could say. I even still have some houses to where the gable of the house I did in wattle, and then did the daub to insulate it. So some of those houses are even less insulated than these houses. My dogs are... Yeah, so I only have one dog. It just sounds like I have multiple. and he barks at ghosts all the time. So, but I heard somebody ring the doorbell, so I think one of the neighbor kids was coming over to see if my boys could come out or something. Crazy. I build like you do, Nas. I do stone door, wood walls. Yeah, so each one of my villages, I did the houses a little bit different in each village. So even if you go to the different villages, they're not the same style as these in the mining village. So some may have stone walls and then the wood door frame. Some have the highest quality roofing. I don't think I have any that have the straw roof, because I don't even think I started with the straw roof in this series. I think I jumped straight to needing the wood planks. I'm almost positive I did. I don't remember whether I stole them or not to be able to do that. But each one of the villages, the house style, wall style is different. Even window placements are different as well. So I try to change it up in each village, so when you go into each village, they don't look just like the last village. But I like that we can actually insulate the workstations now, or the work buildings and the resource buildings, because that'll give you a little bit different look. But I wonder if it's strictly just cosmetic, or if insulating the workstations is going to affect wood demand. I'm going to ask around. I'll find out about that. If the workstations being able to be insulated changes wood demand, then I will probably have to do a new wood demand guide, so it'll sort of reflect that. Now, granted, wood demand is still going to be calculated the same way. You're still going to be able to figure out how much firewood you need per season, per day, the same way as I've explained it in my last two, because I actually have 2 wood demand videos out in my tips and tricks playlist. So it's still going to be figured the same way. Dog was one of just hound pets, yeah. It's just an additional exclusive immersion to NASA streams. Yes. Yes, I specifically asked Toplitz if they could add a doorbell ringing and a dog barking just to my game for my streams. That way I could stay unique. Gonna steal that idea. Fenced in stone storage. Yeah, I was playing around with that actually yesterday. I think it was. I was playing around with this, and I'm like, you know what? I really want to show some stored stone. So like they were coming out of the mine, and it's like, okay, we've got extra stone, and I was like, man, it would be really nice to have carts, like mining carts, in the game. So, maybe there'd be a little track going down the middle of the mine, and you had a little mine cart. It would really be nice. And then I could put like that stone storage like right out here, with a cart or something. Now, granted, sometimes I won't ever have the barrels at this mine anymore because I built up around it. But if you don't build up around this mine, you occasionally have the barrels that have fallen over that have copper and tin and iron in it. But I won't have that anymore. But I came up with this little idea here. I thought it was kind of a cool thing. Same thing when you are dropping the stone in there. You want to drop them one at a time, but you want to jump up and actually stand on the side of the fence. And as you can see, I stood right where I am here, dropped all of my pieces. As they stacked and fell over, they just kind of filled the area naturally. But that's how I did that. You can fill it as full as you want. I did one. I kind of went a little bit longer on these sides than I did on these sides. Wasn't intentional that way, but if you go, just one fence section at a time, all the way around, then that's at a perfect size. But I did have, I'm bummed that my planks fell over because they were so neatly stacked. But there's my plank storage. And then of course my firewood storage, as I showed you guys earlier. Get out of third person there. And now I got a skylight. Of course, I'm not worried that, like I said, I literally saved. I made a second save of my season 5 so I could come in here to the test version and check all of this stuff out. But anyway, I am actually running out of time, so I'm going to have to cut the stream here. I appreciate everybody joining me today. If you folks have enjoyed this update on Medieval Dynasty, definitely hit that like button. Feel free to share the video with your friends and stuff. That way more people can see it. I definitely appreciate everybody joining me today and commenting and sharing your ideas and everything. I love it. And I'm going to try and... I want to try and do more streams, but I just don't know if I can do more than one a week. But hopefully next week I can get into a little bit better rhythm, and I can try and get these guides that I've got working right now. Hopefully I can get them up and uploaded for you guys here soon as well. But I appreciate you guys joining me today. I hope everybody has a wonderful rest of your day, and we will see you folks next time. You folks take care.